Now over at the granite plate, the smaller one, to try to measure up the intended used saddle piece for the Myford Super 7 I'm restoring. I have lightly scraped, just made a crosshatch pattern over here to the top side. I also then used these to bridge over, so I can put this on top here, because underneath, of course, you have the ridge here. I haven't taken that off, not yet at least. So when I did this, I'm not sure if these are okay, but after some initial measurements, I saw that this was a little bit off here, but quite flat, and this was almost entirely flat. So I'm trying to establish then a correlation between the reference, which I know should be here, the unworn strip here. I will use this as a reference. This seems to correlate also to this surface here. And then, as I said, bridging across here, I have measured and then found the usual wear. I put it this way, I guess. And the usual wear then manifests itself by the front here being low. So of course, when you have the cross slide running over here, you will then have accelerated wear, mostly prominent here. This is true also on this saddle. It's not that much really, just minus 2 or 3 hundredths of a millimeter, so 1/1000th of an inch approximately. And the other here, the rest here and here is quite flat. Although this is on the low side, this side here, but I think that is just these planes here which are not to be trusted. So I'll use time to flatten this to the lowest level here, taking off 2 or 3 hundredths of a millimeter here on the rest and here. And then I also then during this process, of course, using pins, ascertain that I have some form of near perfect and alignment between the ways here. At least that's what we need to establish at last. And then this surface is also quite okay, actually. Not so on all specimen of this this type of lace, but anyway, this one was. So I could actually use this, it seems so, to measure the waist directly here, because now I've run across here and found this to be quite okay to this surface, although this of course very dangerous to trust fully because it's so narrow here. So of course when you measure down here so long, let's say leverage or long way distance from this, it will magnify any error. However, we can then use this now to see, for example, here between the reference here, which is this level here, set at 0 there. Take you closer so you see. So I want to show you both the reference surface and the waist here, but let's try it like this. This strip of land here is really then representing the original geometry. So if I then assume that this is 0 here, I can go across to the worn surface and see that this is massively worn here. And this is quite typical also, that this being the most worn surface, say quadrant, and at the front, underneath here, the front pocket, so to speak. Dirt ingress, and then also then normal wear, and then tool pressure here will then make this the most worn surface here. I have also wear here, quite extensive wear actually, but not fully to that degree. And it tapers off to the rear actually. See, this is also unworn. A little bit, at least, is on this side it does. However, as I said, not to be trusted fully here, because this is a little bit higher actually. Anyway, it's I measured that in another way. You can see also the wear here, represented by the lack of any oil channel, or this should be much deeper. And also the stripes, of course, hard to see in the light here, but quite significant stripes. So here is a saddle that is probably going to be milled down. Just noting that, for example, here you have from 0, you have minus 15 or more hundreds, and then so that's 6 thousandths of an inch. So that amount will have to go into a calculation, how much I mill down, because I want to mill down the exact or try to be in the region, so I can put turkite or Rulon on here, and then also compensate for the height of the glue and the Rulon, plus going into the sweet spot for the Rulon wear material, which is of course then needs to be scraped down. So trying to do this scientifically as correct as possible then, but at least mill down this. And then of course all this work with relation to references and stuff is needed, because you want to mill down precisely and then flat, I mean straight down, not introduce any more error than necessary.